Rudy Giuliani is America's mayor, or at least he was until he started going to Ukraine to try to find ways that they were cool and America sucked. Anyways, Rudy Giuliani was asked by Maria Bartiromo how America has changed since his mayoral overseeing of New York since his term. And here's what he had to say.
How have things changed?
We have. I mean, we've become much more divisive. We've lost a certain percentage of patriotism. There was no, I don't remember anybody taking a knee back in 2001, ever. I don't remember people burning flags. That had ended 20 years earlier. I don't remember people saying hateful things about America, how horrible we are, how horrible our founders are. We've got a whole movement, hate America movement going on that we come up against today. We even have two different ceremonies because the other group is not reading the names. They're playing a recording. We have to remember it too, Maria, because it's not over. This isn't Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
It isn't Appomattox. You know, those are over and we're friends now. These people still want to come here and kill us. And we're defunding the police department that protects the #1 Islamic terrorist target in the world. They were feeding on weakness in the response that had been had to bin Laden in the past. We know that now. Can you imagine the weakness they see now with our police being humiliated and they want to do away with our police department?
The closest thing I can see, that is like the pivot that he makes with the aid of a dumb tool is like the pole vault. He's like running as fast as he can and he needs to somehow connect 9/11 to people kneeling during the NFL, and rather than being all of America's mayor, it seems like Rudy Giuliani has decided to be one of the two Americas, I guess, demagogue. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, that's exactly right. Like they are all taking after Donald Trump. Donald Trump certainly is concerned himself with being the American president for all of America. But I do want to say something like the ridiculousness of all of this. The Department of Homeland Security just said this week that white supremacy is the leading threat in this country, and they expect it to be so through 2021. Now I remember 9/11. I remember where I was. I remember my brother was downtown. He had to get underneath a car to survive the towers falling. And I remember that evening, I had this overwhelming sense of nationalism and patriotism as these big pickup trucks drove by waving the American flag. And if you bring it to 2020, those same pickup trucks now, they represent a very clear and present threat to all of America. So I don't know what Rudy Giuliani is talking about in terms of reality, because the reality is who he's trying to represent is the real threat in this country.
Yeah, and I would say that like there's so much wrong with what he said. The idea that no one was saying they hate America. Like everyone, there are many people around the world who say they hate America. That's not new. He says that this is not Appomattox. Which is like the end of the Civil War. We're friends now, the North and the South. And tell that to the people who still fly the flag, the Confederate battle flag. Exactly. That don't want to be, that Reconstruction failed. Reconstruction was abandoned because it was too tough to make white people be nice. That was it. And they just left the South behind to be like, I'm sorry, we fought a war, we're done with the war. Those former slave owners are super cranky and it's just easier this way. So good luck. Like that is the legacy of the South. What is he talking about, friends, now? And also like this is your opportunity to make us all friends. Like why is there, like he is very obviously hitched his wagon to Trump's cart, which is essentially deciding explicitly to divide America, not to talk about ways we could be better together, not to talk about ways we can overcome the obstacles that are very obvious to anyone who just looks around. And that's what's so frustrating about it to me.
And the seamless conflation between the people who struck us on 9/11 and Black Lives Matter, right? He tied that together as if it's one and the same. And that just speaks to you, to the fact that he sees it as us versus them. And no matter who the them is, if they're not us, they are their enemy.
So crazy. And then defunding the police makes us seem weak and ensures that we'll be attacked on 9/11. Not an earnest appraisal, or like we did on 9/11. Not an earnest appraisal of any potential policy that's being floated. And he says elsewhere in that interview, like, oh, what are they going to be afraid of social workers? Maybe they'll be more afraid of a well-designed police department. And this is just my opinion. I believe in good cops so much, I want to rebuild policing around them, which is get rid of the bad cops, get rid of the stupid, if you talk to any police officer, the stupid crap they shouldn't have to do. We should fund things to take them out of the banner of policing. We should do, and then make it so that the police are freed up to do things like protect us from terrorism. It is weird that they would say that essentially, and then he completely abandons like any intelligence efforts abroad to find out what they're doing. Like that's under the umbrella of the NYPD.
You know what the right in any foreign country, the belligerent right that would love to go to war with us, it doesn't matter what country you find, you're gonna find that faction. You know what they really fear would be American imperialism getting out of their backyards, because then they won't have anything to demagogue about inside of their own nation. So American imperialism is what gives the far right in any country the ammunition that they need to foment terrorism. So if they really wanna talk about how we protect ourselves, let's talk about contracting American imperialism.
Right, yeah, as they say, yeah, just throw some more money the military's way, that's fine. And please don't look into what they're doing with it.
Exactly.
Yeah. Plus the like, listen, if you so much as say anything about military budgets, you're evil, you hate the troops. Trump is out there saying that they're losers and I like people who weren't captured, something that's on tape. And it's fine. He really does support the troops because he does, look at all the photo ops he did with them.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.